Hello, everyone. When Bishop T.D. Jakes finally stepped forward to publicly address the rumors surrounding his daughter, the world paused. Not because anyone expected scandal, but because for years the whispers had grown louder, heavier, and more twisted than any family should ever have to endure. And as he stood before his congregation with that familiar, calm authority, he revealed not shocking secrets or hidden scandals, but a truth far more powerful. The truth about how damaging, dehumanizing, and spiritually corrosive public speculation can be when people forget that behind famous names are real human beings with real struggles, real victories, and real pain. He spoke about how his daughter had lived under the microscope from childhood, how every decision she made, every friendship, every photo, every moment of vulnerability was dissected by strangers who knew nothing about her heart, and Jakes explained that the rumors people claimed to have heard were rarely rooted in facts. Instead, they were built from fragments, assumptions, misinterpretations, and the relentless appetite the public has for drama, especially when it involves a family whose faith has been lived out on a global stage. He admitted that yes, like every family, they had challenges, disagreements, seasons of disappointment, and moments of brokenness, but none of that resembled the sensationalized narratives that had spread online, and he confessed the emotional toll those rumors took, not just on his daughter, but on the entire family, each of whom was forced to navigate the brutal intersection of faith and fame. Jakes described late-night conversations with her, moments when she questioned her worth, when she wondered why the world seemed so eager to tear her apart, and he acknowledged his own heartbreak as a father watching his child become a magnet for negativity simply because of the platform he held. He spoke about her resilience, how she kept going even when social media became a war zone of assumptions, how she found strength in her faith even as strangers tried to write a story about her life that wasn't hers, how she refused to let public scrutiny define the woman she was becoming. And then he delivered the part that felt like a confession, the part that struck the world with surprising force. He admitted that the biggest rumor of all, the idea that the Jakes family was somehow flawless, untouchable, spiritually invincible, was never true and never meant to be true. They were human, fragile, imperfect, and fully dependent on grace, and the idea that they had to perform perfection was a burden none of them deserved to carry. Jakes revealed that the greatest pain his daughter endured wasn't any single rumor, but the expectation that she had to be what people imagined instead of who God created her to be. And in that moment, he reminded the world that redemption isn't only for strangers and sinners, it is for families, for daughters, for pastors, for anyone learning how to heal in the glare of public attention. He admitted that trying to shield her completely was impossible, that he made mistakes as a father, that he underestimated how cruel internet culture could be, and that if he could go back in time, he would have taught her not just how to handle the spotlight, but how to survive the shadows that come with it. And as he continued, he warned the congregation and the millions watching online about the danger of taking rumor as truth, the spiritual decay that comes from gossip, and the responsibility believers have to protect rather than destroy one another, especially the young women who are targeted so easily by judgment and projection. By the time he finished, the rumors themselves no longer mattered. What mattered was the raw honesty of a father defending his child, the revelation of how deeply the human heart can be wounded by words, and the reminder that the stories we tell about others can either build or break them. And in that one public admission, Bishop Jakes didn't confirm scandal. He exposed the true villain, a culture obsessed with tearing down what it cannot control, and a world that forgets even the strongest families bleed when cut. His confession was not about guilt or wrongdoing, it was about truth, humanity, and the fierce love of a father refusing to let lies define his daughter ever again. Thanks for watching.